We should be live now, and then I have to figure out a post for Twitter and things. 'Cause I haven't even done that either.
Let me refresh the YouTube page
to make sure that we're live.
Oh yes, we are. Good.
Okay, good.
Let me pop out this chat.
Let's see. I have a cute photo of us. I'm gonna post that to our Twitter.
Okay, cool.
Ready for another.
Hello, Kate Payne.
Kate Payne, always here. Always here first. Thank you for being here.
Hello, Tangurius. You guys are the early birds. Every time. It's all great.
Let's see, what chapters are we on?
It's Tuesday. We're finally streaming on the correct day of the week. You wrote numma over the script.
I'm sorry.
Let me delete it. Hold on. Okay, it's gone. I think I need to raise your volume also.
Tube.com/@BLHQ podcast.
Yes.
Tweeting.
How's it going? Pretty good. Low-key tired because I was running around town all day. So, but we're here to talk about BL stuff. So the energy's gonna come back. The energy's coming back.
Ooh, retweeted. Oh, your mic might be a little bit close to you right now. I'm hearing it clip. Oh. It's okay. Not. Yeah, it's definitely just too close, I think.
Okay.
So that sounds way better.
Awesome.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, look, we're set up finally. Yeah, I've had a crazy week.
Hi, Chris.
I've been so busy, and I've been doing the busy thing plus the rest of my life still. So like, I'm just stacking things on top of things. Still going to events. Even though I was like, oh, I'm really busy this week, I still went to an event. I'm going to Anime Impulse this weekend. I'm hosting not just two of my friends, but tomorrow, Whole Wheat Pete's coming. IPN, the streamer, the VTuber, is also staying at my house.
Oh my god, you have so many.
And then
turning
Marshall,
into like a hotel.
I know. Marshall has been living in my stream room, so
behind
this is actually his bed. So it's just been like crazy. Like it's been super fun. Just very busy.
It's good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Chris woke up this morning thinking you cramped up. It popped back out. Wait, what popped back out?
What popped out? What is it? What is it? Is this something important?
What popped out? Were we supposed to know what popped out?
Put it back. Pop it back. Put it back where it needs to go.
Oh my god. Hello, hello.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome, welcome.
Okay. All right. So 99. We are covering chapters 168 and on today. How many chapters do you think we'll get to today?
So these chapters are kind of short-ish, but then like, okay, so I've been doing like extra podcast work this week because we have some trips coming up, so we have to do like double episodes soon. And the ones that are in the mid 170s, they're so long. Like I don't even think we're gonna get 2 chapters in an episode because they're so fucking long. Like they're ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're like, but like one chapter was like I don't know, like 10 pages or something. Like it was crazy. So I was like, oh shit, it's we're really getting in there soon.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get everything. Yeah. I'm really excited because there's some things that I completely forgot that had happened, and I was recently reading fan fiction. I'm like, oh my god, this person died? I didn't realize they died. And it was like, oh yeah, you should probably reread those chapters.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you because not you. I'll tell you. I'll talk to you about it, but the audience no, because I don't want them to get spoiled.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So audio 1 is great, both speakers and headphones wise. Great. Yeah, audio's great.
So, I don't know if it's like something with my thing, but you sound different in my ears, and I don't know if that's like something that I.
No, let me just make sure that it's picking up the correct microphone right? Because I feel
That
like
might be the
that's really
because it sounds
important.
just a little not like how it normally sounds.
Chat mic. It looks like it's using the correct microphone. Let me see.
Then maybe. Okay.
Let me just make sure.
Let me make sure. Okay. If your microphone is fine, then I am going to just move on.
It should be.
Okay.
It does. Wait, does it sound better when I'm like this close? Like, can you hear it?
I can hear you, so I guess the microphone is correct. It just sounds weird. Like this just sounds different for some reason for me, but I don't know.
Weird. Why. Okay.
I don't know. It's whatever.
Well, we can get started. Let me press the record button.
Please press the record button. Okay, it's recording. I see it recording.
Woo, woo, woo. Okay, guys. Yeah, here
Chris
we go.
is like, don't forget to start recording.
I'm traumatized.
I know. I'm like, I always like keep looking at the other website to make sure it's like still recording because I don't know. I get nervous now.
Oh my god. Did you change any of your audio settings since the last podcast?
Okay.
Everything's
the same.
Okay,
so.
just making sure. I am hearing you clip a lot more, and I don't know why. I'm scared to ask you to change your gain.
I'm going to lower it by half a dot.
And what was it on? 3?
3. Now it's at 2.5.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started anyway. And you know, this is we're an amateur podcasting podcast, and we are
gonna be fine.
We're just pretty girls who are trying to be audio engineers. Okay, get off our asses.
Learning as we go. Listen, we're just learning. It's only been a few months.
Yeah, with literally no one else coaching us. Like I asked around.
Yeah,
and
literally.
Like,
maybe we should get a professional to like sit down and look over these settings and like tell us what to do or something. I don't know.
Please. Right?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, you should go buy this $1,000 microphone and a soundboard that's like $3,000. That's probably what's going to happen.
No.
Chris, I'm glad that your wife and you listen to our podcast on your long drives. I hope that, I don't know if you're part of our Patreon, but we have like all the bottom episodes as well. So that's like an extra bit and stuff. So that's been
more things to listen to, and the uncuts if you want to listen to the uncuts.
Oh God. Oh, so much mistakes. All right, cool. I guess let's get started.
Okay.
Woo. Welcome to BLHQ. I'm Stella Chu.
And I'm Jenny Belly.
This is our weekly podcast breaking down the danmei web novel Heaven Official's Blessing, written by MXTX. We deep dive a few chapters at a time and discuss themes, cultural backgrounds, and our overall reactions. Spoilers abound and screaming will be had, so you have been warned.
And a recap of last week's episode, the guoshi tells the mountain to take everyone to the kiln in 2 days. On the way there, Hua Cheng tells Shelian that there is another divine temple of Wu Yang nearby. They decide to go look to find more murals. In the murals, the crown prince of Wu Yang has decided to make a bridge from his kingdom to heaven to bring all his citizens to heaven before a volcano erupts. Pei Ming thinks that this plan is both impressive and foolish because it uses so much spiritual energy just to appoint one person, let alone over 10,000 people. Later, they find out that Yin Yu is missing, so Hua Cheng and Shelian go to look for him. While they're looking, they run into Xuanji, the bride ghost, holding Guzi.
Guzi,
Qirong's child, kind of.
Yeah, Qirong's like human child. Adopted human child.
Stolen or adopted? Like, we let you guys decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we are on chapter 168, Ghostfire Top, the Unlocking Incantation. Seeing the green ghostfire, Huatsun and Xielan realize that Qirong is here too. Guzi looks afraid of Xuanji, and he wiggles in her arms. Her face twists as she says, "Don't move!" Her face looks more ugly under the light of the green ghostfire. In fact, most female ghosts wouldn't even be caught dead wearing such a tacky ghostfire over their heads, but Qirong must have made her wear it. It clashes awfully with her red wedding robes. Guzi cries, "Jie, my tummy doesn't feel that good after drinking that water." Xielan instantly grows worried. That water has corpse-eating rats and can be harmful to children with weaker immune systems.
Yes. So remember how they were looking for water for Pei Su to drink because he's like mortal and dying of thirst? That water was full of fucking rats, like literally thousands of rats. And Guzi is a child, and he just drank it. He's like a 6-year-old child. Drank like rat-infested water.
Rat-infested corpse-eating rats, like that. So it's like also decay in the water.
Yeah, they're gross. Xuanji has no patience for children, and she says, "Hang on for a bit. We're already on our way back." She leaves into the darkness. Shelia and Hua Chen go after her and follow her to the main street. At the end of the street is a lavish house with voices inside. Hua Chen and Shelian jump to the roof and peer through. Rong is sitting in the grand hall of the mansion. He has positioned dozens of statues to face him. All the statues are of people sprawled out on the floor, so it looks like they're all bowing to him. Rong is casually eating an arm, and there are several farmers in the corner. Yin Yu is among the farmers. And if you guys forgot, there's this whole situation with the Rainmaster who's looking for all her farmers because ghosts kidnapped all the farmers, like the human farmers, and she's like on a mission to go find them.
Above the farmers' heads are green ghost fires, but these are different from the one Xuanji was wearing. They have faces and their eyes look at... Oh, the little green ghost fires. Okay. The green ghost fires... The green ghost fires have faces and their eyes are looking at the farmers. Hwaton explains that they are a ghost fire lock. Once their eyes see it... Wait. Once their eyes see...
Sorry, it's see you.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, let me fix that. There you go.
Once their eyes see you, if you escape, you'll be burned to death instantly. Chirong is happily eating the human arm until Xuanji calls out her return. Until Xuanji calls out that she's returned. Immediately, he wipes the blood off his face and throws the arm away, trying to look more proper. Shaylan is amazed. What's going on with Chirong? Has there finally come a day where Chirong is embarrassed by his eating habits?
Yeah, normally Chirong just eats messily and doesn't give a fuck, but he's actually trying to like clean himself up for once.
In front of Xuanji, maybe he has a crush.
Oh, it's actually in front of Guzi. He wants to be a good dad all of a sudden.
Aww.
Xuanji enters and puts Guzi down, who immediately runs to Chirong's side. Guzi points his finger and shouts, "Dad is eating bad things in secret again." Chirong shouts, "I'm not." Guzi replies, "I smelled it. Your mouth reeks when you eat it." Chirong raises his hand and puffs to smell his breath, and it does smell bloody and rotten. He shouts, "God damn it! Xuanji, why did you bring him back all of a sudden? Didn't I say to take him around a bit longer when I'm eating?" Xuanji replies, "He was making a fuss over a tummy ache after drinking water, so I brought him back early. My lord, please don't make me take care of children anymore. I don't know how to deal with him."
Chiron shouts, "What? Aren't you a female ghost? How can female ghosts not like taking care of children?" Wow, so misogynistic. Wow, okay.
So sexist.
Xuanji says, "But this is even my own child." Guzi tugs on Chiron. "Dad, don't eat those things anymore. They're not good for you." Chiron is annoyed by the nagging. Go. Don't hang around here to annoy people. What is this? Kids nagging grown-ups? Go out and go play by yourself." But Guzi goes outside to play with mud by himself. So Guzi goes outside to play in the mud by himself, and he looks sadly at the others in the house. Xuanji asks why Chiron bothers keeping the kid around, and Chiron laughs, "My cheap son is determined to call me dad, so I just let him." Pfft, what trubbish. Of course
Sorry?
What rubbish. I was like, that's not a word, but okay.
It's not a word.
What rubbish. Of course it's because I'm gonna eat that little dumb pecker. A small kid's meat is so tender, even without seasoning, it'll be flavorful enough.
Oh my god. Chirag is in denial. He obviously cares about Guzi.
Aww.
Oh my god. And poor Guzi literally like playing in the mud because he has no toys. Because no one gave him any toys.
I want the chat to like vote who's a better dad. Xelian and that Lang Ying or Chirong and Guzi.
Shelion pays zero attention to Lang Ying. Like he just makes sure that he's alive and like that's like minimum. He cared more. He was the better dad when Hua Cheng was like transformed into a 10-year-old because he like played with him. He like lifted him up in the air and like played airplane with him and like dressed him up in cute clothes and like did his hair. Like when Lang Ying was a kid, like when Lang Ying was there, he like never like played with him, never took care of him. Like he just like made sure he like survived.
Yep. I don't even know if he fed him because he only fed Hua Chen when he was like pretending to be Lang Ying.
Like the villagers would sometimes donate food, like offering foods, and they probably just ate that.
Yep. Wow.
Oh my god. Xuanji asks why he hasn't eaten him yet. Chirong grows angry. "You don't understand anything. I'll kill after he's fattened. Leave the best for last. Besides, we still have so many supplies left. No need to rush. Xuanji looks and... Oh my god, I'm so many typos this time.
It's okay.
Xuanji looks at Yin Yu and says that this one is suspicious. If Qirong knew Yin Yu was with Hua Cheng, he would have killed him immediately. But he thinks that Yin Yu is one of the Rain Master's helpers. Thankfully, Yin Yu's personality is so flat and weak, no one would assume he is working for Hua Cheng. Xuanji asks if the Rain Master is close to finding them. Qirong says that they are safe from the Rain Master for now. He complains that he only grabbed a few farmers to eat. Why is the Rain Master so stingy?
Oh. Don't eat humans. You don't even need to eat.
Right? So simple.
Xianliang grows irritated. The farmers were minding their own business and Qirong just grabbed them. Qirong has always caused problems first and then acted all self-important after. Xuanji asks why doesn't Qirong just release the farmers to the Rain Master and so that the Rain Master will stop chasing them. Qirong glares and says, no, he already ate half of them. He refuses to release the other half. It's kind of like, dude, this is my bucket of chicken. I'm not giving the chicken back.
Yeah, it's like, I already stole it. Like, it's mine now.
If he's going to be cornered, then he'll burn everything to the ground, so nobody wins. So spiteful. Xuanji asks that in the past, the Rain Master was so easy to bully. She thought that the Rain Master wouldn't retaliate if they stole some farmers, so she's surprised by this turn of events. So it seems like Xuanji has a relation with Rain Master in the past.
Yes, they knew each other, and Xuanji looks down on the Rain Master, like, big time. Xiaolian realizes that Xuanji and the Rain Master knew each other when they were mortals. It turns out that Xuanji was a general for the kingdom of Yuxi, same time that the Pei Ming was the general for Shuli, the enemy kingdom, and that's how they all met. Xiaolian is confused because the Rain Master was royalty and Xuanji is just a lowly general. How can she dare to bully and speak badly of a royal family member? Qirong says, Rain Master, Dog Master, just wait till this Ghost King cultivates to a supreme status in the kiln and be born with so much might, I'll shock the heavens, and everyone must fall at my feet. Kneel before me and eat the mud at my feet. Then I'll tear Ghost City down, sink Blackwater Island, and even Jin Wu will have to be careful where he treads. Ha 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 ha.
Nope, he's just... It's like the people in the middle are always the most annoying with their ego.
Yes. They don't even realize how stupid and lowly they are because they just think they're so full of themselves.
Xianlian wants to laugh hearing Qirong sprout such bullshit. Huatan doesn't even want to spare the energy to laugh. Then Qirong says, I'll chop off Pei Ming's dick for you to play. Maybe make him your slave. Xuanji clenches her fist and says, no need. As long as my lord promises to give him to me for me to handle him myself. Xuanji will be plenty Wow, reading today is so hard. No need, as long as my lord promises to give him to me for me to handle myself. I'll be plenty grateful. Xianlian notices that Xuanji looks like a normal female ghost, but as soon as Pei Ming's name is mentioned, she can see her madness and obsession. He can't believe that she put her hopes on Qirong, a move that can only be seen as crazy and desperate. Yeah.
Why would you stick yourself with crazy? It's so desperate. Xiaolian could go in and beat up Qirong, but he's worried that some farmers may get killed out of pettiness. Qirong would quickly burn himself and everyone to the ground out of spite. Hua Cheng isn't worried and says that there's an unlocking spell for the ghost fire locks, so they just need to trick it out of Qirong. Xiaolian wonders how they can trick Qirong, but then he looks at Guzi playing in the mud. Xiaolian is worried about Guzi's safety if they involve him in the plans, but Hua Cheng says that if anything happens to Guzi, he can just rescue him. Not to mention, Guzi has been with Qirong for so long. Is he still a normal child? Xiaolian agrees to give it a try. Hua Cheng releases a single small butterfly.
Guzi is outside drawing in the mud. He draws a picture of a big person holding hands with a little person. So it's like Qirong and himself. Yeah. The butterfly goes past him and he looks up instantly with wide eyes. Xiaolian's voice comes out of the butterfly. Guzi, don't speak. The moment you speak, I'll be no more. It's me. Do you remember me? Guzi nods obediently and whispers back. I remember. It's the scrap collecting Guga's voice. Xiaolian laughs awkwardly. What a good memory. That's right. That's me, the scrap collecting guy. Sneak over here to the side for a moment. Don't let your dad notice. But before Guzi could sneak away, Chirong notices him and says, "Hey, don't run away so blindly. You hear me? Stay here and don't go anywhere. The big rats will get you. Get back here." So he is attentive.
He is. He's becoming a good dad. Kind of. Not really. He's caring. He cares. He doesn't even realize he cares, but he cares. Yeah. And poor Shelion, just known as the trash guy.
Yeah, it's nice to see that in this arc, there's two characters who we've seen new perspectives on. We've seen Pei Ming as now the comedic relief.
So stupid. Like, more things happen to him later. Like, it just gets worse.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Chirong in this light where you're starting to sympathize with him. You're no longer thinking that he's like completely disgusting. You're actually starting to see him grow as a person.
He's only slightly disgusting now.
Yeah. I like that Guzi is there to bring out a different side of him. Naturally, like just completely naturally.
Just from spending time together, and Guzi, like, he's so devoted to his dad. Like, even though his dad is doing all these weird things, he's like, "No, don't leave me, Dad. I want to hang out with you. Like, I want to be with you." And
pay attention
he's just
to
drawing
me.
pictures of him and his dad on the mud because he has no toys.
Okay, is there fan fiction of Guzi's perspective? I just want to see him be a good son.
There is a lot of fanfics of Guzi and Chirong, and just like it's all like wholesome, like dad with kid, or like him holding him upside down by his ankles and stuff, like silly stuff like that. It's cute. It's so cute. I love them.
Oh man, that's so sweet. Yeah. This chapter really is just kind of like making my heart nice and warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's
and
look
I
at chat.
also think it's interesting how they're revealing more about like the whole Shuli and Yushi like kingdom war thing that happened in the past.
Yeah, which we're going to find out a lot about later.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at chat. And while you read chat first, I have to go get my cat because he's been, I don't know if you can hear.
I hear a little bit of the meowing.
Yeah,
I heard a little
Long
meow.
is very desperate to get in here. And I'm going to do some housekeeping first. You're going to see me do something really weird.
What do you mean really weird? Are you going to? Oh, you're removing the bed that Marshall is sleeping. Okay, that's fine. It's like, you know those beds in like those tiny apartments that like fold up into the wall? God, what are those called? There's a name for those kind of beds. I can't remember it, but that's what that is right now. Let's see. Changuri says super stern, but he cares. Maybe just a tsundere. Yes, very like tsundere dad vibes. He himself doesn't even realize that he cares if he's like being a dad. He's just like, he's always like threatening Guzi and saying like, "I'm gonna eat you." He's like always using him as like a human shield. But like, I don't think if Guzi ever really got into trouble or was in danger, I think that like Chirong would actually go and save him because he like, and deep down, he cares.
Oh, let me actually open the door.
Murphy bed. Yes, that's what it's called. The Murphy bed. Yes, thank you, Tigurius. Michael says the child is a snitch. Yeah, he's like, "You're eating humans again. I can smell it." Well, obviously, Chirong should not be eating humans anyway. So it's a good thing that that Guzi snitched on him because that's just gross. Like, there's no reason for Chirong to eat humans. Like, it doesn't sustain him or whatever. Like, it doesn't give him extra powers. Like, eating ghosts give you more powers, but ghosts don't need to eat humans to survive. Like, that's just them being gross. Yeah,
they really don't. Oh gosh. Okay, Oolong, you better stay on my lap. You're not allowed to move around the room. So Oolong isn't allowed in this room anymore because he will pee on things that smell like Marshall.
Does he not like Marshall?
I guess not, because
what? Like, that's so specific. Does Marshall have other pets?
Nope. Oh wait, no, he does. He has a dog. I forgot.
Oh,
but he hasn't.
What it is.
I don't know. But Oolong's just being a fucking jerk. Like,
Oolong is like, "I smell animal. I will claim this territory."
It could be certain cats like don't like other genders, and it could be that Oolong just doesn't like boys.
Oh, is he mean to Jeff?
No, but he doesn't like. You'd think that both of our cats treat us equally. My cats like treat me very differently than they treat Jeff.
Oh, interesting.
They let me do anything I want to them. And they like Oolong especially like runs away from Jeff.
Oh.
Even though I'm the one who disciplines them.
Yeah, maybe he has a thing against dudes.
I've met a lot of cats who don't like men for some reason, or like the opposite gender. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
Something about our smells, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Moving on to chapter
Yes.
169. Great.
Chapter 169, Ghostfire Top, the unlocking incantation. The butterfly quickly hides. Guzi lies with wide eyes that he's just going to pee. Chiron clicks his tongue and says, "Kids are so full of shit and piss," and he continues to ignore him. Guzi walks to the side and calls out, "Scrap Gaga, Scrap Gaga." Shalion tells Guzi to please call him Daozong, not Scrap Gaga. Then he says that the people his dad captured are subordinates from someone else's house, and the master is going to chase his dad unless he helps let them go. Guzi says that he wants to let them go too, but his dad told him that he needs to eat human flesh to get better, and eating human flesh is normal. But then Guzi says, "But I don't think that's very good." Shelion is relieved that Guzi has not gone too far astray. If he stays with Chirong any longer, though, he's going to start thinking that eating humans is normal.
Shailan quickly says, "It's not very good. Eating human flesh will cause a severe illness. The ghosts of the eaten will cling to you and your dad, harass you day and night. Your dad isn't sick. He's just a glutton who refuses to stop. You have to think of a way to stop him from ever eating that anymore. Otherwise, you'll become a fatherless child." Guzi is alarmed. "Then what should I do?" Hwatson interjects and gives Guzi some instructions. Once he's done, he turns to Shailan and says that they should get Xuanji out of the way first.
Inside the house, Xuanji is still suspicious of Yin Yu and wants to question him. She is very detailed and cautious when she's not blinded by her Pei Ming obsession. Shelian and Hua Cheng realize that they need to use Pei Ming to distract her. Shelian prays an apology. "There's no other way. We'll have to have him temporarily sacrifice himself. General Pei, everyone will thank you after they're saved." Hua Cheng gives Shelian a silver butterfly that has recordings of Pei Ming's voice. Shelian listens and then works to edit the recordings to rearrange the words and phrases.
Okay, if I was, let's just like look at this step out for a second. If I was on the side of Xuanji and Qirong, I would see like these two annoying neighbors who are like satellite parents who are just like, "Oh my God," or not satellite parents, like judgmental, like parents. They're just like, "Oh my God, that's not how I would raise my child. You're like not doing it right." Meanwhile, their own children are like probably horrifying and disgusting. But you know, they're like, "We're better parents than you, so we're going to just take over. We're going to take your kid. We're going to call CPS on you. You guys are bad." Like that's what it feels like right now. Like literally Hwatson is coming up with this whole scheme to like get rid of, like fakely get rid of Xuanji. Like, and fucking Shailan is editing an audio clip to like do things to
distract her.
Dude, it's just seems really kind of like this is what good people would do.
Right.
This is what people who think they're righteous would do.
Yeah, they're like they're using Pei Ming as bait. And like, I mean, Shelion has never said that he was like a perfect holy person. Like he is down to like do whatever he needs to do to like get to the ends. And he's like, my goal is to free all these human farmers. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do, and I'm gonna sacrifice Pei Ming and use this little kid Guzi as bait in order to do that. No fucks given.
Which part are we on? Oh, okay. Mine is next.
That's you.
Xuanji is in the middle of interrogating Yin Yu when a silver butterfly quietly flies behind her. The farmers all see it, but they keep their poker face. Xuanji is in the middle of questioning when she hears Pei Ming's voice. "If that's the case, these first. Do you any more? Give here." The original line is, "If that's the case, roast these rats first. Do you have any more snakes? Give some here."
Oh no.
When Shailan first heard it, he realized that they're trying to feed Pei Su the corpse-eating rats, and he's filled with shock and pity for Pei Su. They really need to hurry back.
I feel so bad for Pei Su.
Maybe
he's literally dying of starvation, and they're giving him rats.
It's like, look, Guzi is perfectly fine, okay? He's not starving. At least someone's giving him like things he needs. It's not great. But you should go take care of your own child, Pei Su, before you try.
Is dying. He's like,
and like
dying
fix
right
someone
now.
else's
They
problems.
first gave him poisoned stew that had like live snakes in it.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to give him rats.
Like, go fix your own house. Stop trying to fix someone else's.
Oh my god, poor Peisu.
Oh, man.
But Xuanji hears the voice and whips her head around violently. She is confused and shaken. Qirong says, "What's wrong?" And she says that she heard Pei Ming's voice. Qirong says that she's delusional since he heard nothing. Xuanji wonders if he's actually nearby and this is telepathy. She wants to go out and take a look. Qirong laughs and calls her delusional again, mocking her for thinking of him 800 times a day. Xuanji stays where she is, looking still unsure. Shelian tries again and more voices come from the butterfly. Pei Ming's voice goes, "You little dummy, come here, I'll teach you." And then a girl's voice says, "Please, General Pei, I've done it once, I'm experienced now. Let me do it."
Oh,
Uh-oh.
sheesh, that is sus.
Oh no. Oh no.
Of course, this is Pei Ming teaching Ben Yue how to cook the rats for Pei Su to eat, but Xuanji hears it as something completely different.
Uh-oh.
She immediately screeches with red eyes, and the green ghost fire over her head erupts like the jealous flames in her heart. She pulls at her hair. It's him for sure. He must be here. I sense it. My heart senses him. Pei Ming, I'm gonna kill you. She drags her broken legs out of the house, and Qirong curses. Hey, oi, Xuanji, what the fuck? How can you run that fast with broken legs? Is that manowar really worth it?
And if you guys forgot, like, she cut off her own legs because she was obsessed with Pei Ming, and she did it because she thought that Pei Ming would pay attention to her if she was like suffering, and he did not. He did not care, and he just ignored her. And so she cut her legs for nothing, and now she has no legs.
Sexy.
Yep. Shelian is worried that Xuanji is going to find the others, but Huacheng reassures him that he'll use the butterflies to lead her in the opposite direction. Plus, Roye is still with the original group as a protection circle. Now that Xuanji is gone, it's Guzi's turn. Shelian is worried, but Huacheng comforts him and says, "Guga, trust me. If this won't work, we can find another way. There are plenty of backup plans. If anything, we can make Qirong unable to speak for the rest of his life first, then take our time to think of an idea." So violent. When Guzi enters the house, Qirong tells him to give him a leg massage. Guzi goes to massage, and then after a while he says, "Dad, those people in the corner, how come they don't dare move even though they're clearly not bound by ropes?"
Qirong brags that it's because they're so afraid of him they can't walk. Guzi opens his mouth wide and shouts, "You're that amazing?" Qirong's ego puffs up. "That's right, look here. Today I'll show you just how amazing your dad is. You see that ball of fire? The moment I give the command, whoosh, they're all burned to death. So of course they're afraid of me. And two other little ghosts, remember them? One is Huacheng, the other one's the nickname Blackwater. They're two weak-ass nobodies. They're two wretches pretending to be great and got a little lucky. But in reality, their titles are hollow. Do you understand what a hollow title means? I'll teach you. It's an idiom. It means, on the surface, they look like they're powerful. But when it comes to true strength, they're nowhere near my level."
Fucking Qirong is so stupid. I swear to fucking
This
God.
is such a good monologue. I love it.
I know.
Yes. You pop off. You believe in yourself. No one else believes in you, Qirong.
Oh, no one believes in him. He only puffs up himself. Qirong adds, "They're just lucky. If I had their luck, I would be 10 times greater than they'll ever be. Just you wait. This time, your daddy will break through this trial and immediately beat them black and blue. No one will dare look down on me. Only I get to look down on other people." Guzi doesn't understand what he's talking about, but he cheers excitedly and says, "You can do it, Dad." On top of the roof, Shelian slaps a hand over his face. He's too embarrassed to call Qirong his cousin. Throughout history, there is no man in the world who doesn't love bragging, and men who love bragging love to brag to their sons.
Aww. Yeah, that's
Yep.
so sweet. That's such a sweet sentiment.
It's very true.
Because it also just shows how much Qirong considers himself Guzi's dad and how much he cares about what Guzi thinks.
Yeah, he's like calling himself daddy to Guzi, so like, come on, you guys.
So
He's
sweet.
So funny.
And then Shannon's just trying to come in here and break that up. That's bullshit.
Yes.
Xielan remembers when he was young that his own father talked about his heroic and great deeds. Young Xielan believed his dad was a great ruler until he grew up and learned the truth. Then he was hit with great disappointment and the feeling of, you're not that amazing after all. But at least his dad bragged within normal parameters. Chirong's level is the stage of absolute shamelessness. No wonder everyone is disgusted with him. Even Blackwater, who keeps a low profile and doesn't care about anyone else, beats Chirong up anytime they meet.
Oh my goodness.
Aww.
Shelion realizes why Chirong keeps Guzi around. He's so young, he believes anything, and his reactions are genuine. He truly believes that his dad is the most powerful guy in the world. Chirong feels satisfied from all his bragging and says, "You gotta be good, you hear me? If you don't listen to me, I'll put a ghost fire on you too." Guzi gets scared and covers his head. "No, I don't want to wear it." "Oh, yeah, Dad. Once you wear this green fire, you won't be able to take it off, right?" Hua Cheng purposefully instructed Guzi to phrase the question like a challenge to set Chirong off. Sure enough, Chirong shouts, "Rubbish! If Daddy wants to lock, he'll lock. If he wants to unlock, he'll unlock. Look, Dad will unlock one to show you."
Chirong points to a farmer and shouts the password, "Dog fucker Xelian." Xelian and Huazhen are speechless. The ghost fire on top of the farmer's head extinguishes, but before the farmer can escape, Chiron spits out a new ghost fire to go on top of the farmer's head. Chiron proudly pats Guzi's head. "What do you think? Your daddy's powerful, right?" Huazhen looks aloof, but his voice is icy cold. "I think that trash wants to be even more garbage than he already is." Xielan quickly says, it's fine. He's more easily tricked than expected." They decide to jump down from the roof since they know the password now.
The fucking password is dog fucker Shirleon. The fuck?
I want to know what that phrase is in Chinese. Like, I want to know.
Oh, is it Google it? Like, what dog fucker is?
Or, like, find that part in the book in the original, like, Chinese.
Oh, yeah, find it in the, see the characters.
Yeah.
Chirong falls over in surprise when Huacheng and Shelion break through the roof. He wants to curse at Shelion, but he can't because it'll unlock the ghost fires, so he quickly covers his mouth. Meanwhile, the farmers in the corner have heard the password. Can't they just unlock each other? One farmer says, "Yeah, it's just some curses, right? Although I feel kind of bad for this Shelion person, but it's not like he's here, so it should be all right." Yin Yu calmly advises them not to say it because it'll be even more dangerous if they do. Meanwhile, Chirong grabs Guzi as a shield and says, "Dog fucked Shelion. You're shameless, you spy. Cunning." Shelion says woefully, "What the heck is dog fucked?"
Chirong taunts Shelian, saying that he wouldn't dare let others curse him, would he? Huatzhen's face grows dark, but Shelian looks unconcerned and curses himself 6 times. "Dog fucker Shelian." He shouts that, and the farmers realize that this is Shelian and can't help praising him in their heart. What a real man! However, none of the ghost fires unlock, and Chirong cackles, "Ha ha ha, you fell for it. If it wasn't me who unlocks it, it's pointless. You cursed for nothing. Heh heh heh." Huatzhen releases a butterfly that makes Guzi fall asleep. Chirong is still laughing when suddenly Huatzhen yanks his sleeve, spins him 18 times, and then throws him into the wall. Chirong blurts out, "Dog fucker Shelian!" And Yin Yu's ghost fire disappears.
Good job, you guys. Yin Yu jumps away and Chirong covers his mouth. Shelion says pleasantly, Come, don't worry. Don't hold yourself back. Let yourself go. Keep cursing." He rolls up his sleeve to grab Chirong. Chirong shouts out with fear, "Go ahead! Hit me! Even if you beat me to death, I won't curse it again." Huacheng says with an icy voice, "Good." Chirong looks at Huacheng, and Huacheng smiles at him with the fakest smile. But it disappears in the blink of an eye because in the next second, Chirong's head is rammed 3 feet into the ground.
Oh.
Huacheng picks him up and Chirong roars, "You dare treat me like this? I've had it. I'll burn everyone. We can all die together. Huacheng, you fucker, burn up." Chirong had set the phrase, "Huacheng, you fucker," as the password to blow up all the ghost fires.
But nothing explodes. Chirong is shocked. How come all the farmers are unlocked? Shannon holds a silver butterfly that has recorded Chirong's voice saying the unlocking password. He realizes everyone while Chirong was getting beat up. He released everyone while Chirong was getting beat up. Hwasun says, "Leave this plane yourself. Sorry no one's coming with you." And then punches Chirong into the underground. The farmers all look down the hole in amazement. Yinyu hops into the hole and then jumps out holding a green daruma doll. The doll is ugly, sticking out its long tongue and rolled black eyes. Shaedan can't tell if Chiron's character designed the doll or if Hwasun made it this way. Hwasun tells Yinyu to take the doll far, far away. Shaedan picks up Guzi. Just then, a few butterflies come to Hwasun and he says, "We need to hurry back to the Divine Temple." Shaedan is alarmed. Something's happened. Something's happened over at the Divine Temple?
What happened at the temple? We're gonna find out next chapter.
Dude, what a fucking great chapter this was.
God. This is so much Chirong content that I love it. I love Chirong so much. He's so funny.
Yeah. Well, it's so good. Just like seeing, he's consistent with his character. He's a piece of shit. But now he's a good dad and a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit that cares a little bit about this human child that he got stuck with.
Yeah, I just feel bad that Guzi has to like trick his dad now. He's betrayed his dad.
But he did it because he wanted him to stop eating unhealthy humans and get not chased by the Rainmaster.
I get it. Oh, poor.
Also, I still
Guzi.
feel bad for the Guzi's actual human father, who like is still alive in the body that Chirong has possessed. Like he just never comes back. I guess he's just gone forever.
And he's getting beat up by Hwasun's really
I know,
strong
his body is he just
power.
Threw him into the ground.
like 3 feet into the ground. Like this is not the first time that Hwasun has beaten the shit out of this body.
No, he's beat him so much he was bleeding out of every orifice. It's bad.
Yeah,
just
it's very
short
violent. Of dying. Oof.
Yeah. And Shellyon is super mean to Chirong. He's the one person that Shellyon is not nice to. So Shellyon has no qualms about beating him up too. So the both of them are just beating him up and bullying him.
It's so messed up. It's so messed up.
Chirong kind of deserves it. He deserves it. He's an asshole.
Meh.
Oh
I think Chirong's just a victim of circumstance, and he's.
Bro, he had 800 years to change his personality, and he never changed, okay? He was an asshole. He tied up 10-year-old Hua-Cheng and put him in a bag and dragged him across the street in a carriage. Come on, that's really fucked up.
Stella is a Chirong apologist.
She is. You are.
Oh, man.
I only forgive him because he's hot. What the fuck? Why is he so hot? Oh, he's so gross. He's so gross and so hot.
So disgusting.
So gross.
Oh my god. Yeah, damn cliffhanger, huh?
Crazy cliffhanger. Shellyon beats him up with a smile on his face. Abso-fucking-lutely. 100%. That's yes.
All right.
Should we go on?
Yes. Let's
Chapter
continue.
170. Resentful female ghost. Flames of jealousy burn the affection. Hua-Cheng and Shellyon hear Pei Ming through the butterfly. Pei Ming says that he hears a strange noise. Banrei thinks it's Hua-Cheng coming back, but it's not Hua-Cheng. It's actually Xuanji on her way there. Sure enough, a few moments later, they hear the crazed laughter of a woman. Xuanji sounds both happy and hateful after finally seeing Pei Ming again. Even though Hua-Cheng used a butterfly to lead her in the opposite direction, she figured out that she was tricked and ran in all directions obsessively to find Pei Ming until she finally found him. Shellyon quickly takes the farmers and rushes to the Divine Temple. But unexpectedly, when Pei Ming sees Xuanji, he says, "You are... Who are you?"
Xuanji goes wild with rage. You're trying to piss me off on purpose, right? You actually don't know who I am? Xiana wonders, no way. General Pei, is he actually doing this on purpose or does he really not recognize her? They're still on the way to the temple and they can hear all the conversations through the butterfly. Hwasun says that he probably forgot her. Pei Ming has affairs with over 1,000 women. There's no way he remembers each one, especially one from hundreds of years ago. Oolong.
Oh.
Oolong.
Meow.
You wanted to be in here. You're just gonna have to chill.
Now you're stuck
He's
in.
not allowed to like be anywhere else but my lap right now because I don't want him to pee on any of the Marshall
No, yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
There's no way he remembers each one, especially one from hundreds of years ago. Peisu was the one who managed the Ghost Bride case, so Pei Ming didn't see Xuanji at the time, but Xuanji thinks he's only pretending to not recognize her.
Literally, the last time Pei Ming saw her is when she was still like immortal. So that's awkward. Then Xuanji notices Banwei and screams, "Who is this little whore? Aren't your standards usually high? What, trying different flavors this time?" Pei Ming and Banwei are confused and speechless. But then Pei Ming seems to remember her resentful tone and says, "Xuanji? How did you become like this?" Xuanji's current appearance is crazed, with red eyes, wearing filthy bridal robes, and crawling on the ground like a crocodile. Of course, Pei Ming wouldn't have recognized her as the noble and cool female general he knew in the past. Xuanji shouts, "How did I become like this? You dare ask how I've come to look like this? Isn't it all your fault? I did this all for you."
Xuanji charges at the protection circle, but Royer is very strong and repels her 30 meters away. Pei Ming comments, "Your His Highness' spiritual device is pretty useful. I'll have to..." Oh, hold on. This is Pei Ming, not Pei Su. Sorry. Pei Ming comments, "His Highness' spiritual device is pretty useful. I'll have to forge one for myself, too, sometime." Xielan thinks, "If you knew how it was forged, you wouldn't have said so."
Oh, that line really fucked with me. Oh my god, you guys.
Suddenly, Pei
Oh.
Ming shouts, "What are you doing? Stop!" Watson reports that Chuanji is toppling over the divine temple and collapsing the ceiling. Pei Ming has shielded the others under his body. Xielan is relieved that everyone is safe. Roy's protection circle hasn't broken. Pei Ming shouts angrily, "Are you crazy? Even if you topple the sky, you won't be able to get in."
But suddenly, Banwei shouts, "General Pei, watch out!" And then Shelion hears Pei Ming getting stabbed by a sword. Xuanji's real plan wasn't to topple the temple to enter the protection circle, but to use the broken ceiling to crush the clay pots that were sealing Rongguang and Keimo already in the circle. And don't forget, Rongguang is Pei Ming's old assistant who died resentfully because Pei Ming murdered him because there was like a whole coup situation, and then he became his like sword spirit. So now he's like a sword demon. Yep.
It's a lot. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah. Rongguang has been freed from the pot and stabs Pei Ming because he's like a sword demon. He's literally in the shape of a sword. He laughs and says, "Hey, Pei Ming, look who's here. It's your old sweetheart." Pei Ming tries to pull Rongguang out of his chest, but Rongguang dodges and shouts, "You wish! Time to die!" Thankfully, Keimo's pot has not broken, so he is still sealed.
Shannon grows anxious and wants to quicken his speed, but Watson suddenly stops running. Shannon is startled and looks back. One of Watson's butterflies is whispering something. After listening, Watson smiles and says, "Guga, no need to panic. Looks like it's been fine even if we don't rush over. Looks like it'll be fine even if we don't rush over." Meanwhile, Pei Ming has a sword in his chest, and Xuanji is crawling up his leg like a lizard. Xuanji murmurs, Pei, darling," but it's hard to tell whether she wants to strangle him to death or embrace him tightly.
Definitely the most yandere character in this book because like she's like so obsessed with him that she wants to kill him. But she loves him. Like it's just crazy. At that moment, Xuanji notices Pei Su and remembers how he apprehended her last time. She gets angry and shouts, "You little mutt!" Just as her claws are about to swipe down, Banwei grabs her wrist to stop her. Xuanji still thinks she's Pei Ming's new woman, and so she grabs for Banwei's head. But surprisingly, Banwei grabs Xuanji's other wrist and easily subdues her. Xuanji is stunned. This little girl looks so frail and weak, but she's actually stronger than her. Banwei's eyes are filled with murderous intent, but she lets go in order to pick up Pei Su and hop away. Banwei didn't even retaliate when Keimo beat her up back in the Banwei arc, but she doesn't hesitate to protect Pei Su.
Rongguan taunts Pei Ming. "Pei Ming, you sure are lucky with women. Do you see two female ghosts are fighting over you? Xuanji has her hands around Pei Ming's throat, choking him. So that's probably pretty hard for him to respond.
Yeah.
She says, your little lover seems to have some skills. Pei Ming coughs out blood. I don't... She's not my lover. Xuanji shouts, you're still trying to deny it? If she's not your lover, why would she tell me to let go of you? Pei Ming replies that if his own mother was here, she would also say let go. Does that make her his lover too?
But Xuanji is blinded by jealousy and says, what? Afraid to admit it now? Weren't you all intimate when calling her? Didn't you used to be more open when you got your hands on a new flame? You've always been so honest with me, not caring for my feelings at all. Do you know how much I've suffered? So why are you scared of admitting to it now? General Pei, are you afraid to die now? Or do you really love her so much you couldn't bear to have me touch a single finger of hers? In translation of this speech, it seems like Pei Ming didn't hide it from her when he had new lovers, and he even told her when he had a new lover. So like, why is he even bothering to hide it now? Which is really fucked up. That when they were in a relationship, he was just like, "Here's my new girl," like whatever.
I mean, I guess he was honest.
Yeah, that's true. At least he's honest, I guess.
Shanna is getting more worried and suggests they head back, but Watson laughs and tells him not to worry since someone else is going to show up. Plus, even if they go, there's nothing they can do to make Xuanji release Pei Ming. The farmers with them are hearing the scene as well, and they pull out some melon seeds to snack on while they listen.
Yeah, literally pulling out popcorn.
They hand some seeds to Xiaolan as well, and he unconsciously starts snacking on them too while he listens to the show. Only after he finished eating them all does he realize what he did and slaps his forehead. How rude of me. Meanwhile, Pei Ming says, Xuanji, can you not think that way every time? It's been so many years. Why can't we just shake hands and walk away? Why must you be like this?
Xuanji tightens her grip. You messed with me first and you want to shake hands and walk away? As if. Pei Ming sighs and says, you really haven't changed a bit. It's precisely because of this that we didn't work out. Xuanji blows up. Like this? Like what? Am I not beautiful enough? Because I refused to give you Yushi's battle plans and army secrets? You refused them yourself. You said you didn't like that I was strong. You said you didn't like that I was strong, so I willingly abandoned even my legs. Do I not love you enough? Who can love you more than me? But you won't even look my way. Not even once in these past hundreds of years. When have you ever come to see me?
Oh. You can't force somebody to love you.
No, you can't.
Pei Ming pushes her face away and shouts, it's because I know that you'd go crazy if I come see you that I didn't visit. Xuanji grabs the sword, pulls it out, and then stabs Pei Ming a few times. Pei Ming pukes out mouthfuls of blood. Xuanji shouts, say it! In the name of your heavenly official status, swear that from now on there's only me! Swear that you'll never look at another woman again! That your eyes would rot if you do! Rongguan is excited. Hurry up and say it, Pei Ming! Say it and you can salvage your little life. Pei Ming curses, shut up! Damn it! I had never thought that despite not dying on the battlefields and not dying under the world's most sacred sword, I died at the hands of a crazy female ghost.
Shelian can't wait any longer. He says, Sanlang, I really think that things are getting out of hand. Will the person you spoke of make it in time? If not, then I'll go. Hua Cheng replies, it's fine. Guga, look, here they come. At that moment, Xuanji is frozen with a petrification spell. Pei Ming is covered and surrounded by his own blood, but then the sound of ox hooves are heard, and a woman wearing green robes arrive riding the black ox. It is Queen Yushi Huang, the Rainmaster, also the 16th princess of the kingdom of Yushi, who has become the last queen of the kingdom of Yushi. She's here! The Rainmaster is finally here.
And we finally know what her name is, what her status is, who she is.
She's a queen. Also the 16th princess.
She is Yushi, the queen of Yushi. Why did they do this?
Yes, literally her name is Yushi Huang. The queen of the country Yushi.
Like,
And Yushi also means the Rain Master.
does
So
this
it's
happen
Yushi.
all the time?
Yeah.
Like, is this common in like Asian
No,
culture?
I think it was like intended as a pun, like Yushi, but it's fine. It's fine. MXTX has a sense of humor.
Strange naming conventions for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, guys, look at this. We're not on Shirong anymore. Now we're on Pei Ming and
No.
Xuanji.
I love how fucking Pei Ming is just like getting fucking tortured and then Shaileon is like, should we like go and help?
Should
And
we
Hwa-Chang's like,
help?
nah, it's fine. And Shaileon's like, oh, okay, eat some popcorn.
Right? And like Pei Ming's
so
just getting
funny.
stabbed. Like,
He's getting literally choked to death and stabbed to death.
and no
like,
one's taking him
is
seriously.
helping.
No one.
Like,
no
no
one's
one is
taking him
helping.
seriously. Like nothing. Like what is Banya doing?
Banya's just worried about Pei Su. Even though Pei Ming covered her body with a collapsing roof and like saved her, she's just like, Pei Su, are you okay? I must save Pei Su and no one else.
Everyone has their significant other, and Pei Ming's like, leave
Yep.
me alone, please. Leave me alone.
Pei
leave me
Ming is
alone."
alone. Like, how is he like the most promiscuous person, but he has no partner?
Yeah, no partner, but he also doesn't really want a partner. He doesn't want anyone.
No. Yeah, he just likes the one time fling and then no
Even Rong
attachment.
Guang wants to be with him, and he rejected him.
No strings attached.
Yeah.
Free as a butterfly.
Aww.
Yeah.
Let's see what chat says. Definitely a yandere.
Oh my god, absolutely. Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah, I had to kick Oolong out. At least he's not outside the door meowing anymore. I think that petting
that's
session
good.
was what made him happy.
Just wanted to come in for a little bit to see what's going on.
Yep. Pei Ming's having a very bad day. Yes, that's true.
Oh god, he's been having a bad day ever since the Blackwater arc.
Yeah.
It's just like one long bad day. Like suddenly his luck all turned around.
Pretty much. I wonder if has gotten any since before the Blackwater arc.
So like literally there's a line later on in a later chapter where Pei Ming is like, why has my luck all been so shitty lately? Like he literally says that. He's like very self-aware of what's going on.
Yup. Yeah, and the Rainmaster's here. I'm very excited, you guys.
Oh my god, yes. She's such a cool character. Like she's a really cool person. So and it was also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I tried to like non-gender the Rainmaster because it was a surprise that it was a female character. Like
Yeah.
at the end. Like the entire time until this point, they never said the Rainmaster's gender.
Yeah. Yup. All right, let's move on to chapter 171.
Yes.
Chapter 171, The Last Princess. Throat slit before palace gates. Shailan says that he never knew the Rainmaster was a princess. When he went to her the first time, he never saw her face because she was recovering, and only spoke to her ox helper. The Rainmaster goes to Pei Ming and says she brought the Yulong sword. It's a sacred sword of the kingdom of Yushi, wielded by the rulers. After she ascended, she forged it as a spiritual device. It has the ability to control the people of Yushi, and Xuanji is a citizen of Yushi. The Rainmaster told Xuanji not to move, so she can't move. Rongguan moves to stab Pei Ming again, but before he can move, Hwa-Chang casts a spell, and after a puff of red smoke, Rongguan shrinks into a tiny sword the size of a finger.
And Yulong, which is the name of Yushi's sword, means water dragon. So water dragon for the Water Master, whose name is Water Master, from the kingdom of Water Master. Just a lot of water. Yes. Shaileon and Hwa-Chang and the farmer step out from where they were watching. The Rainmaster commands Xuanji to let Pei Ming go. Xuanji's hands shake as she resists, and she says, I won't! I already caught him! I won't let him go! The Rainmaster replies, if you must grab hold of something to feel better, why not pick up what you've tossed away and hold it in your hands anew? Xuanji is forced to let go and falls to the ground, miserable. She says, what right do you have to discipline me? Do you really take yourself for the ruler of the kingdom? I think you've forgotten how your queenship came to... I think you've forgotten how your queenship came to be. I won't acknowledge you. I won't.
Banya quickly throws a pot to suck in Xuanji and seals her inside. Xianlan goes to check on Pei Ming, and Pei Ming asks him, Your Highness, were you here this whole time? And just watching? I'm just imagining him with like blood just going
Literally, he's like bleeding from everywhere.
blood. Xianlan says, what do you mean? Pei Ming picks up the tiny Ming Guang sword and asks how strong is the seal Huatsun puts on it. Huatsun replies that it won't break unless someone applies spiritual power and gives it permission to be released. There's no way for it to break by accident or deception. Pei Ming sighs in relief. The farmers all rush to the Rainmaster. Xianlan bows to the Rainmaster in greeting, and the Rainmaster comes down from the ox to bow back to Xianlan. When she bows, Xianlan notices on her neck is something and is taken aback.
But then Shelion bows deeply to the Rainmaster and thanks her for allowing him to borrow her Rainmaster hat in his time of need. He never had a chance to thank her in person back then, so he's happy to finally do it today. The Rainmaster tells him not to think about it any longer. The only reason she is accepting his bow now is for his own benefit. She says in a calm and serene voice, "If I didn't let your highness bow this once, my lord might never relax. Now that it's over, let us forget this affair." Just then, Rong Guang shouts out, "Hey, Pei Ming, isn't this embarrassing, needing a woman to save you? And it's that Yushi Huang, no less."
The Rainmaster still looks calm, but Pei Ming looks really uncomfortable. Xianlan puts his talisman on the sword to shut it up. The ox looks at Pei Ming and stares and starts to angrily blow out hot air and swing his tail. Xianlan has many painful experiences with angry bulls who see red, so he quickly moves to stand in front of Huatsun, worried that Huatsun's robes will aggravate the ox. There is an awkward silence until Pei Ming says politely, My thanks to Queen Yushi for rescuing little Pei." The Rainmaster replies politely, "It's nothing." Then Banyue tugs on the Rainmaster's sleeve and tells her that Pei Su has passed out from hunger. Thankfully, the Rainmaster controls agriculture, so she plants some seeds in a nearby field, and soon crops grow out. All the starving humans cheer.
Yay, normal food, not rats.
I just want to know what situation in which Xianlan got into a thing with ox.
I mean, apparently there was multiple situations. Like, it was more than one situation where he got ran over or attacked or chased after by a bull. So, but Shelion has lived a life.
Oh my god. I'm just imagining, like, suddenly he gets trampled to death again for, like, the 10th time. I'm sure
he's been multiple times. He's been poisoned to death, trampled to death, stabbed to death, just food poisoning. Like, he's just had so many deaths. It's sad. Shelion wakes up Guzi so that he can eat too. But Guzi immediately starts crying for his dad, thinking he was abandoned again. Shelion gives him the ugly Daruma doll and tells him that it's his dad. Guzi stops crying and hugs it like a precious treasure as he eats his food. While the mortals eat, Shelion, Huacheng, Pei Ming, and the Rainmaster discuss what to do. They can see that the kiln is up ahead. The lower half of the mountain is red like blood, and the upper half is white covered in snow. Shelion says that the mortals and the weaker ghosts should stay behind. Pei Ming sighs that he's been so unlucky this entire mission. The Rainmaster tells Shelion that if his mission is to subdue the ghosts who have the Rainmaster tells Shelion that if his mission is to subdue the ghosts who have the potential to become a ghost king, then there's one that she saw that he should work. Then there's one that she saw that he should watch out for.
The ghost is a young man dressed in white. It's the same ghost from earlier at the fork in the road that all the other ghosts were running away from. Xianlan asks the Rainmaster how she got away if she saw him, and the Rainmaster admits that it was a combination of her ox's leg power and the ghost's lack of interest in fighting her. Xianlan asks what he looked like, and she replies that she didn't see his face because his entire face was covered with wrapped bandages. Xianlan wonders if it was Lang Ying, but isn't he in Ghost City? But then the Rainmaster says that the ghost looked about 17 years old, so it might not be Lang Ying, who is in the body of a 10-year-old.
mysterious figure in white
Who?
with bandages all over his face and the body of a 17-year-old.
At this point in time, when you were reading the book and you didn't know that Watson was the little boy that was saved, did you have a prediction?
Well, at this point, we do know that it was Hua Cheng who was saved. He was the little boy.
Okay.
Because we like during the flashback, the show's like Hua Cheng was the soldier with the wrap bandages, and Hua Cheng was like the one that fell from the parade and all that stuff. So the entire for the rest of this chapter and like the next few chapters, there's a lot of insinuations about Hua Cheng that are about to like pop up.
Okay.
So keep that in mind, you guys. But who is this mysterious, scary ghost person? Pei Ming has finished healing himself using heavenly medicine, so he's now fully recovered. The Rainmaster asks him how come he doesn't have a sword. Pei Ming is taken aback and doesn't know how to respond, so Pei Su replies that Pei Ming's sword was snapped in half. The Rainmaster gives her own sword to Pei Ming, but Pei Ming looks at it like it's a poisonous snake. He hesitates and then says that it would be inappropriate if he took it. The Rainmaster says that Pei Ming is a skilled swordsman and they are on an important mission, so he should take the sword. Pei Ming hesitates some more, but then politely declines. Seeing this, the Rainmaster stops insisting and they chat about other things.
The topic of the Rainmaster comes up. No, the topic of the Windmaster comes up, and the Rainmaster says that she sent out a search to find him, but with no results. Then they decide they'll just rest for 2 more hours before continuing their journey. Shaylin is looking for a tree to lie under for a bit when Watson suddenly pulls out a rope and a cloth and creates a swinging hammock between 2 trees. Yeah. Shaylin and Watson climb in, and Shaylin finds the bed very comfortable and spacious. After a moment, Shaylin asks Watson why Pei Ming didn't take the Rainmaster's sword. Doesn't Pei Ming need a weapon? Watson replies that though Pei Ming likes women, maybe he doesn't think highly of them. Perhaps he's embarrassed that he was saved by a woman and is too prideful to take his sword.
Her sword.
What? Perhaps he is embarrassed that he was saved by a woman and is too prideful to take her sword.
Shelion then asks about the scar that he saw on the Rainmaster's neck when she bowed earlier. Hua Cheng says that the Rainmaster is actually the princess who slit her throat from the 4 legendary tales. The Rainmaster speaks slowly and gently because of her scarred neck. Shelion is curious, why did she slit her own throat? And what did Xuanji mean when she said, "Have you forgotten how your queenship came to be?" Hua Cheng explains the whole story. Yushi Huang was a royal, but 1, she was a woman, and 2, she was born from a low-ranked concubine and the 16th child. She had a low status, but she also had an introverted, awkward personality, so she had no favor.
The royal cultivation hall was called the Temple of Yulong. Every ruler would send a child to go and cultivate and pray for peace. It sounds grand, but it was actually hard labor. The cultivation method is literally hard labor, so no servants or luxury items are allowed. No one wanted to be the one to get selected for the position, so naturally, Yu Shihuan was the one selected to go since she was so unpopular. Xuanji looks down on the Rainmaster because even though the Rainmaster is a princess, Xuanji had more popularity and was more valued than she was.
So this reveals like some world building, because like different cultivation temples have different methods of cultivation. Like Shelion's is like purity, and the Temple of Yulong is literally manual labor. So that's why the Rainmaster has like a field, and like she does manual labor because that's how she cultivates her spiritual energy. So yep, she just tolls the fields all day long. Interesting. Yushi Huang entered the temple and cultivated until one day some guests came from the kingdom of Shuli. In the beginning, Yushi and Shuli got along through forced civility and false courtesy. At that time, Shuli had sent diplomats. Oh my god, Domino. Shuli had sent diplomats to attend the Yushi banquet to maintain bogus peace, and they also visited the cultivation temple. One day, Yushi Huang was cleaning the roof when she realized that someone had taken her ladder away. The diplomats and the royal family of Yushi laughed at Yushi Huang behind their hands. Only a general of Shuli, after chuckling, leaps up and brings her down. That general was Pei Ming. Suddenly, Rongguang breaks free of the silencing talisman from outrage. He complains that Pei Ming, who knew that Shuli was planning to invade Yushi, still went to visit in order to seduce all their princesses.
Wow.
Yep.
Shannon feels a little bit sorry and thinks of the saying, to smile and laugh with me yesterday, then invade and trample my home today. Rongguan says that Pei Ming and Yu Shihuan had no relationship, though. They only met twice. In fact, Pei Ming had forgotten about her the next day instead pursued the other beauties of Yushi. Unfortunately, when Shuli finally decided to invade, Pei Ming led the army and forced the king of Yushi to hide deep inside the palace with the last line of defense. He was about to crush them, but then Rongguan suggested a different move, to which Pei Ming agreed. The Suli soldiers brought hundreds of felons from Yushi and dressed them up as civilians. They told the king if he kowtowed 3 times and killed himself, he'll let the civilians go and spare the royal family. But if he refuses, Pei Ming will behead a group of civilians each day for 3 days. After 3 days, he'll invade the palace and kill everyone. This is a very clever tactic to cause the country to like go against their ruler. It's a psychological tactic.
Yes, that's literally like the next paragraph, how like amazing this plan is. Like Rongguang is, even though he's like annoying, he's actually a really, really skillful tactician. And that's why he worked with Pei Ming so well, because Pei Ming is like a mighty warrior and Rongguang was like the brains behind the operation. He's very sneaky and smart. So that's why they worked so well until they had that falling out with the coup. Shelian comments, Rongguang, what a shrewd but beautiful move. By doing this, if the king refuses, the Yushi citizens will resent the king for not saving or caring about his people. And after killing the fake citizens who are felons on death row anyway, Shuli Kingdom can just say that they were only testing the king to reveal his selfishness. On the other hand, if the king really did kill himself, it would make no difference to Shuli and it would save them the hassle. Plus, what monarch would end their own life in humiliation and bow before his enemies? Yet unexpectedly, after one day, Pei Ming is about to execute the first group of felons when the ruler of Yushi emerges.
The palace gates open, and the ruler walks out with the sword Yulong. I'm gonna try it. I'm like, this paragraph is gonna be really intense, guys. Okay, one sec. Okay. I gotta get into it.
Yeah.
The palace gates open, and the ruler walks out with the sword Yulong, kneels before the people, kowtows 3 times, and then slashes their own throat. That person was the Rainmaster Yushi Huang. After Pei Ming gave the ultimatum, the king of Yushi sat on the throne with a grim face, unmoving. All his children tried to convince him to come out so that they themselves wouldn't be offered up to get killed. They said, "This is for the people. Even if you die, your name will go down in history. If this keeps up, the people are doomed." But nothing worked. He just sat there. Finally, one of the princesses couldn't hold back Finally, one of the princes couldn't hold back and punched the king. But the punch was so powerful, and the king was over 60 years old, and he became instantly paralyzed.
Yikes. The children were stupefied. But then they tried to figure out a way to drag the king out and make him look like he was kowtowing. Ridiculous ideas, such as hanging like puppets, were discussed. The king's eyes grew red with rage, but he couldn't move. But in the middle of the argument, Yushi Huang, the 16th princess who no one paid attention to, silently went to the king and said, "Please, pass the throne to me." The king watched his daughter that he never looked at, and in the corner of his eye, a single crummy tear dropped out. However, it was only one drop. An hour later, they completed a rushed succession ceremony and named Yushi Huang the king, and named Yushi Huang the queen of Yushi.
Yushi Huan slits her own throat so deep that she is beyond saving. Pei Ming is stunned. Rongguan curses that their plan is ruined, with an insignificant person dying. They failed in destroying the citizens' loyalty, and they failed in killing the king. The soldiers of Shuli even feel pity for Yushi Huang and try to save her, but her injury is too great. But since the ruler of Yushi has slit her throat, Shuli is forced to keep their promise. Yushi Huan is sent to the temple of Yulong to be buried in the royal mausoleum once she breathes her last breath. But at that moment, thunder roars and lightning cracks, and Yushi Huan ascends to become the Rain Master. Xie muses, no wonder General Pei looked like that when he saw the sword.
Oh my gosh. And here we have the full backstory between how everyone is connected to each other between Yushi and Shuli. So interesting. Love this backstory.
Is
so cool.
Incredible.
So cool.
I wish that something like this was real because it is literally such an amazing story.
Yes. Like literally people bullied her and ignored her and like literally abandoned her to work every day for the kingdom's like prosperity, and like no one paid any attention to her, but she was so kind and so like she was
selfless.
So good. Yeah, she was so righteous that she sacrificed herself for the betterment of her kingdom.
Yeah.
And that deed was so great that the previous Rainmaster recognized her and transferred her godliness to her so that she could become the next Rainmaster. Like that is amazing. That is amazing.
So good. I would love to see some focus on her if somebody would write I just want everyone to write fanfiction, but like could you imagine if there was like just a story that focused on her and how she was treated and how she had nobody supporting her, but yet that never changed her as a person and she never really faltered, or at least maybe that is what made her the way she is. You know,
I also think it would be really great for like a palace politics story because she's born from the lowest concubine. She's the 16th princess. There's like literally 15 siblings of higher rank than her because the king had so many wives and concubines. So just the drama of that is like super fucking interesting. I love palace politics stuff.
Yeah, if you guys like things like Game of Thrones, you might be interested in more stories of palace politics in like Chinese or even Korean fiction, because there's the whole concept of concubines. It's very common.
It makes everyone
yeah,
everyone is fighting. It's really great.
Yeah, and it's like you'd think that it's just a guy who like marries a bunch of wives, right? But the thing is, like,
those wives are mad.
the women aren't just raised to be this like I don't know, like fucking useless woman who like gives birth. They're raised to understand politics. They're raised to fight for the things that they want.
Protect themselves too.
Yeah.
And like your rank could change. Like if the king favors you, your rank could go from low to high. So everyone is trying their damnedest to become a more favored wife. And everyone is competition. Like you are in a pit with all your competition and you have to survive and you have to make sure your children survive because everyone is out to fucking get you. Can you imagine living in that kind of situation for the rest of your life since you were married in at the age of like 16 or 17? Like that is crazy. That's just so much stress.
And the thing is, you're even before you turn 16, your whole life has been told this is what you're going to do. Here are all the tactics. Like these women become tacticians within like the palace to like do all they don't
trained.
They're trained to do that.
Yes.
They don't learn on the job.
And beautiful. Like they have to maintain beauty and like know the arts. Like they have to be whole rounded.
And not just that, they don't just manage like their relationship with the other concubines and their like king or whatever. They also have to manage their servants because it's they have to create like a spy network for themselves. They have to protect themselves. There's so much about like how other concubines are always trying to cause miscarriages because like giving birth.
And then spies, they send their maids to go into a maid of another place to like spy on them and poison people. Like it's crazy.
The whole thing. So if you want to get into that side of fiction, it's like really cool.
So good. It's so good. I love the drama. It's so good.
Okay, so let's take a look at chat. So she was the same Rainmaster then? I thought the Rainmaster and Pei Ming's story was after Xielan's fall. So it's very well, Xielan's rise is like when he became when he became a god was almost around the same time as what was happening with the Rainmaster and Pei Ming.
So like literally when Shelion was looking for the Rainmaster hat, that was literally a few days after she ascended, because her throat was newly slit, and so she was recovering from that injury. So that's why she was in the house, and the ox was the one who greeted Shelion and gave the hat. So she was a just newly ascended god, and Shelion had been a god for about 3 years or so, 2 or 3 years, and prosperously, before all that shit went down with like the Yongan people, and like the civil war and the diseases and shit. So there's the few years of difference between like when Shelion became a god and when everyone else became a god.
Yeah.
But Shelion is older than Pei Ming. Like he ascended before Pei Ming, because Pei Ming ascended after.
And Pei Ming, I don't know what's the year difference between Shuli and like the coup, but there is a difference.
So the Rainmaster ascended first because she died, and then Yushi became no more, and then Pei Ming was being prosperous. Like the kingdom of Shuli was really prosperous under Pei Ming, like winning more and more battles for everybody. And then there was a coup, and then Pei Ming broke his sword, and then he ascended.
Yeah, so
it was like after.
Within 15 years of each other, I would say
like
3 gods ascended.
Yeah. But Shelion was first.
Yeah.
He's the OG. Yeah. Yep. Is there any other questions?
Different sections of cultivation, no single path to heaven. Yeah, if I were to cultivate, it would definitely not be an abstinence cultivation. That sounds boring.
You can also just ascend through a martial arts ability, because Feng Xin and Pei Ming did not ascend through cultivation. They just ascended because they were good at martial arts and stuff. So different ways.
Yep. And then other people can cultivate their like talent. Ling Wen cultivated like her writing skills.
Yeah, she's a smart cookie.
Civil literature god.
Yeah. And there's also like never mind. Okay, I was gonna say something, but it just slipped my brain, so never mind.
And then Tangurius is now a fan of the Rainmaster. She's
the best. She's the best.
I can't wait to meet the Rainmaster within the books, because I really want to, not in the books, but in the art
of her.
Yeah. I like thinking about her as a person who speaks very calmly and slowly, and is less about the emotional drama that's happening at the present, and more pragmatic and trying to solve an issue that's coming. So she's not thinking about, is this person being insulted? I'm just being respectful all the way through. We're going to solve our problem, and I'm not even going to acknowledge that there's drama.
My favorite scene with the Rainmaster is actually her interaction with Shelion. When Shelion bows to her, she neither stops him or lets him continue, because she's like, well, I'm not going to stop you because you feel like you need to do this, so I'm going to let you do it just so you can get out of your system. But let's not do it anymore, because I don't deserve that kind of, like, she knows that it's not like a big deal, but she doesn't want to stop him because she knows that it's for his own benefit to thank her. So like she's very like in tune, like, you know, like she's like someone who's like emotionally mature, and like she doesn't get dragged into like petty squabbles. Like she's like above it all, and she is very like level-headed, and she's also very, very like introverted, and like she keeps to herself, and she's very quiet. So I don't know, she's just like such an interesting and lovely character. I love her a lot.
I think everyone needs like a friend like her in real life, just someone who's like, yeah, we'll do whatever you need, I'll just be here for you, we'll fix it together. Like, it's just, I need someone level-headed.
Just like every extrovert needs an introvert friend.
Level-headed introvert friend.
Reign in the wild.
So interesting, getting an example of someone successfully sacrificing themselves for others, in which Xielan was never able to do.
It's true. Shelion was unsuccessful, but Yushi was able to do the hard thing, and she literally killed herself in order to do what needs. Yeah, to save her kingdom. Even though in the end her kingdom like got destroyed anyway, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. She did her part. Like she did everything she could do.
She really did the best she could do. God, I'm so glad, Tangurius, that she has now become your favorite. Such a great character.
She's great.
Lovely. Speaking of palace politics, I have an off topic today.
Okay.
My off topic is I don't know if I talked about it before. It is a fanfic from Scumvillain Self Saving System called Sidled Along the Wall by Rice Scam
Oh, I'll send you a link.
RAIISKAIM. Yes, I will send you a link. They just posted the final chapter 10 days ago and I haven't actually read it.
Ooh. Oh
But
yeah, I love new stuff.
so I'm gonna read that probably tonight. Just so you know, this fan fiction involves MPreg, which is male pregnancy.
Dude, my off topic is also MPreg.
Woo! We're talking about
That's so
MPreg.
funny. That's so funny. I am hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay.
Woo! So I really like this one. Basically, what happens is that Luo Binghe becomes the emperor of the demon realm and stuff like that. And he goes back to like kill Shen Qinqiu and all that drama and all that kind of stuff. But what ended up happening was that he non-cons Shen Qinqiu. And Shen Qinqiu ends up getting preggers. And what happens with that is that the demonic energy from the child and his own energy doesn't mix, and it causes it to be an extremely difficult pregnancy to the point where Chen Qinqiu like chi deviates so badly throughout the entire pregnancy he doesn't remember any of it. And the day that he gives birth, he tries to kill the baby. Tries to smother it with a pillow immediately. And Luo Binghe was watching this happen secretly because he wanted to see what would happen. Like, is his Xuan evil? Is his Xuan gonna like fucking kill this baby? Like all this kind of stuff. And so he saves the baby and like knocks out Shen Qinqiu. Shen Qinqiu eventually recovers from his chi deviation. And Luo Binghe changes his memory a little bit and convinces him that he's been kidnapped to go to Luo Binghe's palace to go raise this baby that belongs to the Empress. But the Empress, tried to murder the child immediately and decided to like not be the mother of this child. And so the Empress is like, and also the Empress forgot that she gave birth to this baby. So the Empress is still living somewhere in Luo Binghe's palace amongst all of his wives. And she is the Empress, the highest like person in the totem pole. But she refuses to acknowledge her child. And so now Shin Qinqiu's responsibility is to be the governess, whatever, of this baby, who is Shen Yuan.
Oh.
So okay. Shen Yuan is a cute, sweet baby. He like is so happy, so joyful all the time, and is being raised by Shen Qinqiu, and being taught cultivation. He's there all the time, and he like loves Shen Qinqiu, clings to his thighs and everything. The thing is, Luo Binghe doesn't lie. The only person he lies to is Shen Qinqiu. Luo Binghe tells his child and tells all of his wives and everybody that Shen Qinqiu is the father/mother of Shen Yuan. Mm-hmm. So everyone, even Shen Yuan, is like, that's my mom. Yep.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, like, he knows that he's not supposed to tell Shen Qinqiu about the fact that he's his mom. So he's like saying, it's like Shen Qinqiu's having conversations with like this kid, being like, so how's your mother doing? He's like, my mother's doing fine. Like looking straight into his mother's eyes.
Like, and he's like, he doesn't know. He just has no idea.
Yeah. And the thing is that throughout this entire story, Shen Qinqiu eventually falls in love with Luo Binghe, and ends up, doing the sex again and a lot. And then he ends up getting pregnant again, but doesn't realize he's pregnant. But all the palace doctors are like, he's pregnant again. Oh no, It's like a really difficult pregnancy. And it's like so bad that it's causing Shen Qinqiu's body to like deteriorate. This whole time he's just like, why is my body being weird? Why is my body so weak? And he hears rumors.
He's pregnant?
No, because he's a fucking dude. He's a man. Of course he doesn't think he's fucking pregnant.
So funny.
And also his memory is like really bad. Like it's like a situation where his like chi deviation has like really caused a lot of brain damage, and he doesn't realize like any of his symptoms. And so he hears from the servants, like the servants are like secretly whispering and all that kind of stuff, that like the Empress is with child again, and she's really, really sick, and she's bedridden. And so he's just like, Oh, loving husband sleeping with his empress. He doesn't care about me. Like, I'm never going to be anything to him. I'm
Oh,
just a teacher for his
uh,
child, and I'm gonna die soon because I'm so sick. So it's like, I don't even matter at all. It doesn't even matter. But like, why can't this empress take ownership of her fucking son? Like, her son
yeah.
is here and he needs to be taken care of because apparently there's this like blood disease where demonic children need to cling to their parent, like their mother's chi,
Okay.
and until like they're weaned off after a certain point. But since Shen Yuan is so sticky to his mother, he's
Oh,
constantly been feeding off of his
so he's
chi
fine.
until now. Because Shen Chi is so weak from being pregnant again,
Okay, I see.
his chi is suddenly cut off, and the bait, like Shen Yuan, the like child of like I don't know, it's like 13 years old at this point, suddenly
Mhm.
becomes super sick and is dying because his chi connection to his mom has been like cut off. And so like
Right.
Shen Chicho is dying. So is the Shen Yuan. So is the
Everyone's
unborn
dying.
child. And Luo Binghe is now stuck in a situation in which everything that he has built, all of his hopes and dreams, is falling apart in front of him because
Oh.
there's literally nothing he can do. He can't save his child because he has to save his like his Shen Qingqiu, but
Yeah.
Shen Qingqiu can't be saved because he is dying from this like unborn child. Like there's so everything is bad. It's all
Oh.
Luo Binghe's fault.
Dramatic as fuck.
And that is the last chapter I read. There's one more chapter. It's so fucking sad. Oh my
Okay,
god.
you're about to be done with it. Nice.
It's so good, you guys. You have to read it. It's so good. And I know that like male pregnancy is like really weird and everything. Like, you know, why can't they
I
just
like low key. I don't know. I like the fanfics that have like families in them, like family dynamics. So I'm okay reading those as long as it doesn't get like too into the weeds about like the pregnant. Like, I don't want to hear about the birth. But I like when the guy gets like taken care of because he's like
Aw.
too round to do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, women, do you really just want men to be women? Or is this like actually a separation of like another gender? Like, I just want people to be a little
I
bit
think it's
clearer.
I think it's like a whole different thing because there's already like fanfics where they do like gender swaps if they
Hmm.
actually want the characters to be female, but like for the mpreg ones, I think it's just like a fantasy of like a man being able to like have a child, like raise a child from the beginning stages, like from the beginning all the way to the end, versus just stepping in halfway through. So
Hmm.
it's a way for like I don't know, just like
Hmm.
a male couple to experience like having their own biological child together
Mm.
versus like having to adopt or like having a surrogate or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But at what point are they just women with a male pronoun? You know what I
There
mean?
are there are fanfics that are like that with that deal with like gender
Hmm.
dysmorphia, where there are characters who have like female organs but then refer to themselves with a male pronoun, or there are trans characters, and there's like a whole spectrum of different. So I wouldn't put everything into like a bucket because it just really depends on the writer and what they want to do with the fanfic. So it's really hard to classify everything under like one category because it's just
Yeah.
so wide and they're so
Yeah.
varied.
You're totally right. That is
Yeah.
probably what I'm trying to do is that like I keep trying to put things into like boxes when it
No,
doesn't
yeah. I
belong
think
in
it's just
there.
read everything as its own thing
Hmm.
because everyone's intention with their fic is so different and it really depends on the intention.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. April Gonzalez says that it's all about the tenderness and caretaking.
Exactly. I love the fics when they have like a child, even whether it's their own or they're adopted or whatever, because they just like the love that they have towards their child and like the care and then the love towards each other. Like it's just so wholesome, and I just love the family
Hmm.
dynamic stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So yeah, speaking of MPreg, it's hilarious that ours are the fucking same category, but mine's is a modern times one. It's not a palace politics one, and it's a Murazushi fanfic called "All I Want" by Selene. It's freaking new as fuck. Like it just finished like 2 days ago. So I read it because it was popped up. It popped up on my like email notification because I follow this author, and it's oh my god, what a good read. So this is set in modern times London. No cultivation, no nothing, weird stuff. Except that this is a world where some males are called bearers, and they have the ability to bear children. It's very very rare. It's like 0.01% of the population. So there's like, not a lot of like, education about them. And since Wei Ying was adopted and he was taken from like foster family to foster family, no one really like did his like paperwork properly. And so like no one really knew that he was a bearer because they just thought he was not, because that's what the paperwork said, and like no one ever tested it. So anyways, Lanjan is an American person, but he's visiting London, and his plane gets delayed. So and it's also, this was a flashback, but I'm just gonna say it in chronological order so that it makes more sense. But yeah, in the past, in the summer, Lanjan's plane gets delayed, and so he runs into Wei Ying at the bar, and Wei Ying flirts with him, and they decide, because Wei Ying's flight also got delayed or canceled, so they decide that they're just gonna have like a hookup, and it's gonna be like no strings attached. It's like two guys who are in a shitty situation. Like, let's just see where it goes. Okay, we're both visiting. It's gonna be like a summer holiday fling, whatever. So they go back to Lanjan's hotel and they like hook up, and except like Lanjan of course like fucking falls in love with him, and they like he like falls in love with him so hard. But it turns out that Lanjan was the one who suggested like, let's just make this a holiday thing and like not get like, it'll be a no attachment thing. And he realizes that this is not what he wanted, but it was too late to do anything about it, because at the end, Wei Ying is like, so this is just a no string things attached, right? Like we can just go our separate ways and not contact each other. And Lanjan was like, like he thought that's what Wei Ying wanted, so he's like, yeah. And he lies and he's like, this is what I want. And so they separate ways. And then later on, it's Christmas time, and Lanjan once again gets stuck in London because of a delayed flight. And the entire time though, he's like thinking about Wei Ying, like seeing the ghost of Wei Ying everywhere, because it's like a similar situation. But Wei Ying's not there. He has no way of contacting him, and he hasn't seen him in forever. And he doesn't know. Wei Ying was visiting also from America, but he didn't say where or like give any information. So he has like no idea where to find him or like how to find him or whatever. So Lanjan ends up booking the same hotel that he booked last time. He was like, maybe if I just mope and like feel depressed about this, I'll get out of my system and I can move on with my life. Except when he is at a cafe near the hotel, he sees Wei Ying and his sister. Except when Wei Ying spots him, he immediately like jumps out of the cafe and like runs away, like freaking out. And Lanjan's like, what the fuck? And he chases after him. And it turns, and when he finally catches him, he sees that Wei Ying is fucking pregnant, of course. And it's Lanjan's baby, except Wei Ying never had any way of contacting him. And he also knew that Lanjan was really wealthy, so he didn't want to like think that he did it on purpose and like baby trap him. So like, and also Wei Ying lied to Lanjan, saying that, oh, he was actually from England. He was not from America. He lied about like where he was from because he wanted to sound cool. He wanted to be like, oh, like his real life is like, I'm an elementary school teacher and my life is really boring, and you were like this cool wealthy businessman, so I like lied about my background to make myself look more cool to you. And so now Lanjan doesn't know if like anything Wei Ying said was real or not, if he lied about anything else. So it's like a story about them in this like weird situation, because like Lanjan doesn't know. He loves him and he wants to like trust him, but like he also doesn't know what has happened with Wei Ying, since he like lied about his situation, and also he's like fucking pregnant, and they don't like, and his brother is worried about him. Is like, what if he's just trying to use you for your money? So it's like, I don't know, it's really really fun. It's really really cute. It does get really romantic later on once all the misunderstandings get cleared up, and it is also explicit. So there's some sexy things. But yeah, it's such a cute fic. I love it so much, and it's very Christmassy. So it's perfectly, well, it's no longer Christmas, but it was perfect for the holiday season.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to read this.
Yeah, it's really really cute.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I want to see. I want to see what happens. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I didn't spoil the ending. I don't like. Yes. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Yes. Good. Okay.
Yay. All right, guys. So let's see. So every week we also like to take a look at comments that are on Patreon. So we're going to head on over to Patreon, see the notification section. So this also lets you know that I only check the Patreon messages once a week. So sorry if you wrote something.
I get the notification on the email. So I read the comments when I get the email notification, because I get the notifications on my phone. But I'm not logged into Patreon, so I'm unable to reply.
Whoopsies.
But I read them when they come in, like in real time. But I'm like, I never am able to reply. So I gotta figure that out.
All right. So on episode 32, there's two comments from George. The first one saying, I love MXTX's use of repetition, a battle involving the brocade mortal destroying Yin Yu's palace similar to Pucci's shrine. Yin Yu's let it go. Xie Lian's didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yeah, that's a good thing to
Yin Yu
point out.
saying let it go is so traumatic to me. I feel so bad for him. He just wants to give up on life. He's just like, let it go. Like, doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters anymore. Like,
He wants to
just stop.
disassociate a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
George then says, I really enjoy this sort of A Christmas Carol Ghost of Christmas Past storytelling sequel where Hua Chun's silver butterflies are unveiling a flashback to present-day Xie Lian threads in what he currently knows of Blackwater and Ling Wen. There's even a flirty game between Guga and Salong as he plays Where's Waldo in finding which heavenly official is Blackwater.
I love that scene. It was so cute. He's like, guess which one is Blackwater? And Gugu's just like, oh yeah, this is a fun game.
Distract you from the sad things happening.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's fine.
Then Kate Payne also on episode 32 says, can I please get the name of the fanfic where Shaylan is stuck in the hole, please?
Yes, I saw that comment and I meant to reply.
Okay. I should give you the login.
Yes. I will find it and I will give it to you.
Yeah. All the characters in this book have done horrible shit, but for legit reasons. Like, I get it. It feels like a lot of it could have been avoided if everyone in heaven wasn't so easily offended by everything.
That's like the main theme of the book. Like, the fucking gods are so fucking offended. Like, they need to chill.
That's what Twitter is all about, just people being offended all the time. But I think Hwa-Sen says something like that in the beginning of the book.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a repetitive theme.
I found the name of the fanfic where Shellyon gets stuck in the hole, and I forgot how stupid the title is, but I need to read this out to you. Oh, fuck. XXX. Bubble butt twink gets glory hold by hung tatted up sugar daddy. XXX. Stream free online now. Click here. XXX.
Oh my god, what the fuck? That's the stupidest.
It's the best title. It's the fucking funniest title. I'm gonna send this over to you so you can put it on Patreon.
Is the funniest title.
I love it.
Wow.
It's so funny. And it's written by Penji Sama. So there you guys go.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Hold on. You said you posted it where? In the...
I gave it to your Facebook so that you can...
Okay, yeah. I'm going to put it into the...
You can put that under the weekly recommendation fanfics because I definitely recommend it.
Okay,
definitely recommend it.
True,
it's hilarious.
That's what's going to happen. Oh my god.
If the title of this fanfic does not clue you into the humor of this, like, come on. It's so funny.
My god. We also got a bunch of new patrons.
Oh, yes.
So holy shit.
So many people at the $10 tier too.
Yeah. Okay. So since last stream, we've gotten a new $5 tier, new $10 tier, new $10 tier, and then one person, April, who's in chat right now, upgraded to the $10 tier. So thank you so much.
Thank you, April. Thank you guys for the upgrade and the new subs.
Yay! Thank you guys. It really goes towards like paying for the just like all the management
fees. We have to pay hosting fees to the podcasting company.
Yep. Eventually, I would like to have somebody edit the podcast for us, and then that way, if we want to, we could probably just put out more content. We'll see. It's a lot. And every week now, we're gonna be doing shout outs to our like xuan tier because we haven't really like I said last week, like we haven't really figured out what to do for xuan tier. It's a $20 tier, and I only put it there because I was like, you know what, if someone really wants to support us with extra money, they can. And so now we decided we're gonna do shout outs.
Yeah, I was actually inspired because I was listening to two other podcasts, and they have this thing called the producer tier where they shout out people who are tiered to the highest like tier. And for like helping produce their show. Basically what you guys are doing is helping produce our show because your donations help us put this shit together, and what is that if not a producer, right?
Yep.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna like shout out you guys every week as a big thank you for helping produce the show.
To Kate Payne, thank you so much, Kate Payne.
Can you do you actually mind writing the name somewhere so that we can read them alternate?
Oh yeah, it's in our notes for podcast sheet, Google Sheet, and I've made a page called Tier 3 Patrons.
Ah, I see it. Okay, cool.
There we go. So, yes, thank you for Kate Payne. Woo! Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you, Kita.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Michael Joseph Pence Jr.
And thank you, Rob. Yay! Thank you guys so much for the season tier. Yay.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It means a lot. And in the future, we will try and brainstorm something to like do, especially because things have been growing pretty quickly recently. I don't know. It's been great. It's been great. Everything's been great, you guys. It's been nice.
And if you guys want to be like silly with the tier 3 name shout outs, like you can definitely like change your name so that we can like shout out, like if you want to use your, because I've seen people use their shout out as like a plug, you know, for their like Instagram or whatever. So if you want to do that, totally feel free. You can change your your donation name so that we can say whatever you want us to say for it.
Something like
with inappropriate, not inappropriate though.
All right, guys. If you don't follow us on Twitter, please find us as BLHQ podcast on Twitter. We have us on YouTube now, where we live stream every single episode at this point. So if you want to watch me and Jenny doing face cam, you can see us like reacting to all the different things we're reading.
Faces.
Yeah. And also our cats. It's definitely a plus.
You want to see our faces? Like literally, I don't know if you can. I don't know if this is cropped out of the YouTube. But
oh, it is cropped out.
Okay, well she's been sleeping there the entire time. Yeah. Okay. And as Shelly-on said, hold on, I gotta find it. Am I on the right chapter? Okay, cool. Oh no, I underlined. Okay. And as Shelly-on said, throughout history, there is no man in the world who doesn't love bragging, and men who love bragging love to brag to their sons. So true, so true.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Right, bye.
And bye on YouTube as well. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye. Next week is a 2-episode week.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's going to be extra. Oh, whew.
A long episode. Be prepared for a long stream.
Bye-bye.